What up, motherfucker? Even Kill. Welcome back to the channel. You see, this time around, I'm gonna do it real quick. Every time I say real quick, it be long as fuck. But anyways, growing up, I never gave a fuck about superheroes. I didn't care about Spider-Man. I didn't give a fuck about Batman. Like, I didn't care. Like, superheroes meant nothing to me. I didn't have any interest in superheroes. I didn't have any interest in sports. You know what I mean? So now that I'm a 29-year-old mind, body, spirit complex, I've come to I've had a couple of awakenings, a couple of rebirths and shit like that, a couple of deaths, and I woke up in a certain density where I don't have any more limitations. Like, I don't have any more strings. I'm not within a maze. I'm no longer being programmed by the matrix. I now can program the matrix. So being where I am now, and I'm understanding a lot of the metaphysics behind a lot of shit that we just go through on a day-to-day basis, like metaphysics of, sports, metaphysics of what did I say before sports? Superheroes and whatnot. But I mainly want to stay into the superhero aspect of it, because, like, even with the Marvel shit that's going on right now, like, the MCU's been, like, really popping and shaking. I think it was, I don't know, it's been for years right now. And a lot of people are resonating with these superheroes. A lot of people are beginning to live precariously through them. And, truth of the matter is that those superheroes also live precariously through you. You know what I mean? It was a time, in an age, in an era, where we would worship idols and shit like that. And we would have so much energy behind these idols, these icons, these stars. It'd be a lot of energy, put towards them. I don't really put that energy into that shit, so it's just not, it don't matter to me. Now, what I have put my energy and my focus to was superpowers in real life. Superpowers in real motherfucking life. A lot of us have superpowers. A lot of us are capable of superpowers, and it's really nice to look at the world with a burning desire to explore the possibilities, rather than to be afraid of certain outcomes that could be true or false. Everything that exists was a thought. The trees were a thought. The Apple phone that you're using is a thought. Samsung phone you're using was a thought. The job you have right now was a thought. Everything started in the supernatural in order to build the natural, right? So, and a lot of videos that I watch when I'm at work, and I don't really be at work, I meditate the whole time, you know what I'm saying? I let my hands do what they do. I let my mind do what it does. I let my eyes do what it do. I let my ears do what it do. Like, I don't even, govern my body, you know what I'm saying? Like, I let my body move how it wants to. So, what am I really saying? What I'm saying is that right? I'm speaking of myself. I am omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. I'm all three of those things. And I'll tell you why. As early as 2015, I made a decision that I didn't believe in space. I didn't believe in space. I wouldn't call myself a flat earther at that point in time, but I literally just didn't believe in space. And I vocalized that to a few motherfuckers. Later on, I think about 3 years later in 2018, I decided that I didn't believe in time. And through those, subtle realizations, through those subtle statements, convictions, contracts, whatever you want to call it, however you view it, right? Through those statements, I ended up not living within the confines of space and time. Those two things that I said I don't believe in, because I didn't believe in it, I'm not a part of it. Like, that whole aspect of the universe is null and void to me. Because I don't believe in space and time, I don't judge. Because I don't believe in space and time, I manifest things and things happen. Because I don't believe in time, I can be patient. Because I don't believe in space, as in, a orb. Like, space is different for so many different areas of life. You know what I mean? I could be in your personal space. You can be in my fucking on my timeline or in my feed or whatever. I don't believe in space. I believe outside of space, if that makes any sense to you. Now, because of not having the constraints or the mental constraints or the expectations of those constraints to actually affect me, to weigh me down and make me, more dense, more heavy, more massive, because I don't believe in any of that shit. I don't have any issues or any problems with detachment. Now, to explain how I'm omnipotent is because I can do anything. I can do everything. Now, the illusion of self is at play right here. So I know that there are many other selves that have done everything that can possibly have been ever done. In the subconscious community, we all share that part. A sixth density being would not be a mind, body, and spirit complex, but it would be a social memory complex, which means all of the memories from that specific group, within that specific culture, within that specific community, all of those thoughts, all of those truths, ideas, all of those things are compiled into one being. That is a space, right? The idea of space that I said I didn't believe in was definitely some shit that you shouldn't believe in. But once again, I don't like to say should, because you're on your journey on your own. Well, not on your own. You have your guardian angels. You're God. God has his angels. He has his angels. You know what I'm saying? So you're not alone. It's just a term of phrase. So because the illusion of the self doesn't fuck with me, I know that I'm also omnipresent, because I'm at all places, at all times. Because I don't believe in time, I don't believe in space. I'm all present at all times. Now, all knowing, being omniscient, yeah, I'm that too. Once you live outside of space and time, you understand that what you know now, you've known 80 billion years ago. Once you live outside of space and time, you know that what you learn in another 80 billion years, you have it right here. It's only within space and time that you have limitations, or it's only within space and time that you have limitations of knowing shit, right? Now, there's also other abilities like, exokinesis, which is, shaping reality right in front of you. You can YouTube Essokinesis, ESSOKENISIS. You can also look up Omnikinesis. There's so many different abilities. There's so many different ways that you can, move about within the density that you have been graduated to. I've graduated to a fourth density mind, body, spirit complex. So now I see the gap, or I see the difference and the distortion between myself and other versions of myself that still live in 3D. That's being in touch with your lower self, knowing where you come from. Now, in the Kabbalah, in the Kabbalion, or the Sephiroth, the tree of life, right? The roots of the tree start from above. It's not like down here where the roots come from below. So many of us have our roots in higher densities. So yeah, being in touch with my higher selves and also being in touch with my lower selves allow me to once again be omnipresent. Not just in a 3D type of manner, but more in a really cosmic type of vibe. Now, understanding all of this shit, I can look at movies, television, even sports, and look at the connections between the actions that are transpiring and the mind state, the mental or the psyche in which those people are enjoying this type of content, that are resonating with what's going on. You'll fuck around and find out that athletes kind of come in families. You'll understand that certain type of people that were meant to play out a certain role will resonate with a certain vibration, with a certain energy, and they will be born here under your guidance, under your guidance. That's just how things work. On a metaphysical way, me being from where I'm from above, I made a decision, I made a pact, a contract to experience life under these terms. So all of my adversities, all of my struggles, all of my joys, my failures, my celebrations, my victories, all of those things I agreed to. Even, the mother that raised me, I agreed to her. My father, I agreed to him. This bullshit ass job I had last year, I agreed to that shit too. The woman that I was dealing with, she lost interest in me. I agreed in that. I played my part. I've taken responsibility, and I've graduated. I'm going to continue to graduate and climb up Jacob's ladder. I'm going to continue to have my attention on my spine anytime anytime something in me clicks. Like, hold up, straighten out your spine, get your shit erect, And speaking of the spine, as I was doing a little bit of research on omnipotence, I came across the word impotence. And impotence is erectile dysfunction. Without, if you've been hit and you signed a contract that landed you impotence, I don't really know what to say. Like, metaphysically, that means you've lost your power to create, right? To procreate. You can create, absolutely. You can, you can paint. You can probably sing. You probably can do a lot of shit. But it's funny, not funny, but it's peculiar to put myself in the shoes of someone who's developed impotence. And Now I have to dive into that psyche. I have to use my omnipotence. I have to use my omnipresence to assume that body, to assume those decisions, to assume the signee of that contract. That's one of my next steps, is to then understand that part of life, to then understand the mind, the spirit, and the body complex that made those decisions. So anyways, this video did get a little serious. As I said, it was supposed to be quick. This is kind of quick to me. This is pretty quick. But all that superhero powers, all of that shit is within your grasp. The dope thing about 3D is that, well, not even 3D, but the dope shit about Earth and 3D is that we have the privilege, we have the ability to experience how things transpire. We have the experience to see how we hurt ourselves. We have the ability to see how we hurt others by our thinking. The universe is mental, and at the next octave, at the higher densities, it's even more mental. So we're here to train our mind, to tap into omnipotence, to tap into omniscience, to tap into omnipresence. That's your motherfucking birthright. I'm out of here, y'all.